Hello, welcome back to Blue Harvest Toys. And as you might know, I am getting together some indie cosplay, and I have the jacket. I'm going to go through every single piece of the cosplay. I'm going to do a separate video on each piece. So first up, why not the jacket? Come on, join me on this journey. It's going to be exciting. This jacket has one of the more complicated or controversial histories of any item of gear. It is one of the unique identifiers of Indiana Jones. The jacket was central to the concept Steven Spielberg and George Lucas formulated for their protagonist, and it is one of the significant items of wardrobe that is wholly unique to Indy, i.e. it is not based on existing pattern. As production moved forward, it became clear that the jacket needed specific design features. Enter Deborah Needleman. Deborah Needleman was chosen as a wardrobe designer for Raiders of the Lost Ark because of her work on 1941 with Steven Spielberg. Prior to 1941, Spielberg had never used a costume designer, and Needleman was his first, and he enjoyed the ideas she brought to the production process and the dimension this function could add to his characters. To begin the process of creating the costume, Steven screened two movies for Deborah and her assistant, Kelly Kimball, Secret of the Incas 1954 and China 1943, both of which I talked about in my last video, and two movies I've recently watched. The character of Indiana Jones was directly inspired by Charlton Heston's adventurer Harry Steele in Secret of the Incas. Indy is a kinder and gentler version of Steele, an unlikable and unsympathetic plunderer. This and Alan Ladd's character, David Jones, an unfeeling profiteer who was making money off the Japanese invading China, were the inspirations of Indiana Jones. Based on these screenings, Deborah and Kelly came up with the conceptual sketches for the characters and the costume requirements. Based upon these concept sketches, 10 military-style plain cuffed and plain hemmed leather jackets were ordered from Wilson's Leather in Los Angeles. This was the extent of the original specifications, and Wilson responded with the altered A2 jacket design that removed the jersey knits from the hem and cuffs. Test fittings were done at Western Costumes with Tom Selleck, as it became clear that there were functional problems with the Wilson's jacket. Namely, the jacket would hang up on the gun belt and whip. Additionally, the leather used in the Wilson's jacket did not lend itself well to artificial aging, and the finish would flake off. Western Costumes stepped in and provided a mock-up jacket in cloth, the design on which included an open action pleat that resolves the pattern issues. It should be noted there that while it had been reported that Western Costume provided finished leather jackets, this is not quite accurate. The only finished leather jackets presented by Western Costumes were limited to historical accurate A2s, and this design did not meet the requirements for the character. Western Costumes did not provide any finished jackets in leather using anything remotely close to the final design, but only the cloth mock-up in its various iterations. It was at this time that the leading man was changed from Tom Selleck to Harrison Ford, and Needleman and Kimball had to leave for London. Along with them went the Wilson jackets and the latest cloth mock-up made by Western Costumes. The final jackets for production would have to be obtained through Berman and Nathan's in London. Upon their arrival in the UK, Needleman and Kimball visited Berman and Nathan's. Needleman considered the jacket design to be still very much a work in progress. She delegated to Kimball to meet directly with the Berman's jacket person. Berman's delegated to Noel Howard to provide somebody who could produce the needed jackets, and Peter Botwright was brought in. Peter was presented to Kimball as somebody who worked for Berman's, though he was in fact the owner-operator of the leather concessionaries and had worked on many films through Berman's stores before Raiders, having fitted Ford once before for the production of Hanover Street with an A2. Peter brought several jackets into this session, and it was determined that he would use the existing James Dean patterns with additional A2 pockets and an action pleat based upon the design from the Western Costumes mock-up. From all reports, Peter had never actually given or even presented the mock-up because it appeared that the changes to the James Dean design were fairly straightforward for him. In support of this, Peter was able to deliver what was to become the hero jacket for the very next day. This jacket was much lighter than the Wilson's jacket, a plus in Deborah's mind given the locations they were going to shoot in. Wilson's jacket had been made from cowhide, while the leather accessories jacket was lambskin. The pattern was correct, therefore the final test was in how well the jacket aged. Deborah did this personally using Harrison's Switch Army knife and a wire brush while sitting by the pool at her hotel on the night before the shooting was beginning at the German U-boat pier in La Rochelle. The aging test was a success and the jacket became the hero jacket. A total of 14 jackets were provided by leather concessionaires for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Some modifications were made to these jackets by the wardrobe staff during production, but it has been confirmed that no further jackets are ever requested or provided for Raiders of the Lost Ark by leather concessionaires. Beyond 3 separate orders placed prior to the commitment of shooting as follows. Order number 1, the original prototype jacket, that became the hero jacket. Order number 2, 10 additional jackets ordered immediately after the prototype was accepted. With respect to this second order, it was reported that there was minor variation between them and the hero jacket, as well as variation between themselves. None were exact duplicates of the hero jacket, and the deviations appeared in 3 areas that members of the wardrobe department could recall: the placement of the collar along the top of the storm flap, the size of the patch pockets, and the configuration of the design of the gussets. The collar placement was the only area that reportedly geared fits to the script supervisor. Again, there were even variations between the 10 themselves, i.e. it was assumed in the rush to fill the order that several people may have worked on elements in slightly different ways. None were considered mistakes, just differences. Order number 3, 3 spares ordered after reviewing the script, and more specifically the needs of the stunt crew. Because of variations in Order 2, it was decided to ask for 3 additional jackets made identical to the prototype that would then be held aside for each of the 3 principal stunt doubles: Terry Leonard, Vic Armstrong and Martin Grace. As production began, this plan fell somewhat by the wayside, with only Martin Grace wearing his jacket during the Elstree shootings. Terry Leonard and Vic Armstrong kept their jackets as souvenirs. Modifications performed by the wardrobe staff on all jackets are as follows. Zips were painted with brass paint. In certain lighting, the aluminium zips were too shiny, especially once they received some wear. The D-rings were replaced with metal rectangular slides, painted black. The D-rings would not hold the thinner lambskin side straps significantly, especially once aged, and some straps were actually sewn in place. During shooting, a Wilson's jacket was used to outfit Terry Leonard for the truck dragging stunt. The Wilson's jacket were heavier and had been made from pre-distressed leather. An added benefit to the Wilson jacket design for the scene was that there was no detailing on the back, i.e. action pleat. Because of this, it was thought that the jacket would fare better with Leonard being dragged on his back under the truck. Also, because the Wilson jackets were fitted to fit Tom Selleck, that they were a bit trimmer than the leather concessionaire's jackets and provided a tighter fit to hold body padding and armour in place for Leonard's extended time under the truck.
So there you go, there's the story of the jacket. Now, I have more coming, more pieces. I have the shirt, I have the trousers, but those are bought really cheaply. This wasn't too bad. I might go into how much I've paid for each item on a separate video. I think I want to keep these to the history of each individual item, because it's quite interesting. I think it's really interesting. It's a pretty deep dive. Thank you to indiegear.com, because I'm using them and their stories, and Wested Leather as well. I'm using them. I have bought 3 things for them so far. Now, I have bought this off eBay. I bought the shirt off Amazon, and I bought the trousers from a charity shop, believe it or not. But I do want to get them more as authentic as possible. That's why you'll see in the video I was trying to do a bit of weathering on this. I'm going to do a bit more weathering on it. I'm going to go a bit deeper into that in more videos. So let me know what you think, please. Let me know if you've got any ideas and when I can buy these. But like I said, Western Leather are sending. I'm getting a bag. I'm getting the gas mask bag. We'll talk about that. The belt. Well, there's 2 belts, so we'll go into that as well. It's going to be a deep dive series of this, and the whip handle holster thing clip. I haven't got the whip. It's going to be one of the last things, I think. So maybe next time, let me know what you want to see next time. We've got the shirt, the trousers. Maybe I'll put those 2 together because, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you really liked it. I'm really loving this. You know, I've got my indie focus now. Now, I've always loved indie. I've always loved it, and it'll always be a big passion of mine. And now there's actual stuff coming out. It's wonderful. I love it. My wallet doesn't, but yeah, I do. So thank you for watching. Join me next time when I'll be talking about shirt or trousers. Or if I do get this package from Western Leather, we'll talk about the bag. I think that is quite exciting. Nerdy, but exciting. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. May the toys be with you.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.